Is 24kyear livable in Toronto? Hi. I am a first-year PhD student that will be coming to U of T. Research assistantship is 32kyear, and after subtracting tuition that leaves 24kyear. I am expecting to pay around 1k for rent and share a room at the UN residence. Is this a manageable position to be in? And how much of this budget would go towards taxes? I wish I am as optimistic as you. Don't you get paid for TA-ing courses on top of the RA? Or is that part of that? That's rough if so. It's possible if you're okay with multiple roommates, never eating out, never go out for any major entertainment events, never go on dates, etc. You can use the food bank, as I believe 24k a year is below the poverty line. Try to use OSAP if offered. I'm also a professional student and I get about 9k a year as a grant and 9k for loan, which should help you out. As someone who dated a PhD student from U of T for years, it's possible but a very meager lifestyle. If you can keep your rent at $1,000 or below and keep all other expenses at a minimum, you can survive. No dining out, no big expenses, no savings. Take on as many additional TA as possible, summer TA courses, and other paid opportunities. Last year, beginning of this year, I had it rough and managed to live off $1,200, $800 to rent a room in a basement and $400 for everything else. It wasn't super fun, but I wasn't particularly dying of hunger either. With twice the budget, it's more than doable. You'll have to live with a roommate, almost never eat out, buy mostly discounted food, and overall be super aware of your spending habits. No Netflix, expensive video games, fancy clothes, hobbies, but it's doable. It's not bad if you can live under the gardener and eat for free. It's not possible. You'll need money for food, transit necessities after you pay rent. You will need to get a part-time job. Consider getting a bike and doing DoorDash, Uber Eats. As a PhD student, you need to be applying for external funding for your research ASAP. 4 years of that wage will crush you in Toronto. Chat with your supervisor ASAP and ask them to help guide you in getting funding and what sources you can tap. Don't listen to the majority of people. It's possible, I've done it. You just need to manage your money well. I've lived off $300 a month on groceries you just need to buy on sale and meal prep. And don't forget the tax credits you get. I am a first-year PhD student in Toronto right now, and I eat well and have a room. I pay less than $1,000 in rent a month and get my groceries at independent, mostly ethnic grocery stores. I have heard about a rat problem at the grad student residence, and it's more expensive than a normal apartment usually, but I think you can make it work. You won't be eating steak but also won't eat sardines for dinner every night. You can also make good use of the U of T facilities like the gym and pool and health insurance. Lol. I did that in Vancouver in 2019-2020 when I was studying. Fortunately, transit was included in my university fees. Not sure if that's the case for you. I lived with $900 take home a month. I don't drink tea or coffee, so that was something I didn't have to spend on. I lived in a basement private bedroom with shared washroom with 3 others, and my rent was $600 and included all utilities. I ate out twice a month. Groceries have skyrocketed since. It might be tough, but doable in today's situation. Yes. I live like this. You can manage. Rent a basement room in a shared house or share your room if you want an upstairs room, and it brings down your rent to around $750. You can use rest if 1k per month to pay bus tickets and food, and even go enjoy a concert or 2 per year. For a single person, it's not that hard. If you have family that you are supporting, then no. This is so messed up. A person who is doing something that, if successful, will be adding to global knowledge, which in theory is a betterment for humankind, and they have to live on $24,000 with possibly contractual obligations regarding the stipend that prevent them from working to supplement their income. Can you advise what you are doing for your PhD? I'd bloody help fund your living costs if I can, if your research is going to lead to something amazing. The fact that suggestions are recommending food banks to a PhD student is straight up pathetic of the current state of affairs. As someone who was in this exact same situation for 4 years, it's doable. Talk to your supervisor about potential paid side gigs. A few extra grand go a long way for a grad student. Good luck. Yes, this should be okay, but a bit tight. $32K salary. Tuition is $8,000. Residence is around $12,000 per year. Food around $5,000 per year. Transportation around $1,000 per year if you stick to bus and train. This leaves you with around $6,000 to play with. If you have time to pick up some part-time job, you can easily expand this, but I don't think it's necessary either. Food bank and part-time job, no social life. P.S. I am a STEM PhD program dropout, never regretted it. Getting a PhD would have taken an extra 6-12 months of my life. I had a job paying more than a PhD degree could pay. I am in IT and it's fun seeing our PhDs getting paid less than an experienced dev, not always the case, but those positions are highly competitive and frequently filled based on your network. Double it. Double it again. Maybe? Sure, you if live out of a van down by the river. With roommates it's possible, don't listen to naysayers. I wouldn't call it living. More like existing. But it looks like you'll be living on basically $1K a month for food and everything else that comes with student life. I think it's doable, but be prepared for lean times. If anything, your state of near poverty will focus your efforts on your studies. Yes, it's possible. The biggest determinant of feasibility is the place to live near the university you mentioned for $1K. If that's a reality, then you can absolutely live in Toronto for $24K annually. $12K annually in rent leaves you with $33 per day for everything else. $33 is virtually nothing if you eat out every day, but it's quite a bit if you can prep meals in advance. Dude, what? PhD student, and you're asking if $24K is livable in one of the most expensive cities in the world? Can you walk me through this? I am 100% serious and not being an asshole. Only if you have free housing and tuition. Nope. You are expecting to pay $1K for rent is the part that worries me. I would be surprised if the uni allows you to live in the residence. I would expect them to reserve that for undergrads. You might find a room to share with 2-3 other people, a room, not separate rooms with an hour commute. Not possible, but there are ways to help. Perhaps your supervisor can help you get grant money. There are lines of credit and student loans as well. My niece is doing her master's and will be making close to $40K from her stipend, scholarships and grants. To save money, look for a roommate, and use food banks. Best of luck. Why are you paying tuition as a PhD student? You should be fully supported for that. I did a PhD at U of T and I knew of no PhD student that paid tuition. It was always covered by fellowships and the department professor. Nope. Not possible in any way, shape or form. Absolutely not. Been there. No. U of T is only paying their research assistants $32K? Those bastards. I can't believe you need to pay $1,000 for a shared room in the uni residence. That seems so expensive for what you get. Yes, $24,000 is technically will require roommates to live with, and you will require to watch every penny of spending. Non-essential spending is not going to happen. Like going out with friends. Unless they are paying, you won't have the money. Or you can call dibs on a street corner if you have a big box. No. Sure, just make sure you have a tent and a good appetite. No, that's borderline poverty. No. Invest in a tent and live under the gardener. Taxes about $3K, although most would be returned at tax time. If you're under a certain tax bracket. As long as you don't need food or housing, you are fine. Might even be able to save a bit.